And we are live. Mother Earth is in the building. Vocal dialect. Mother Earth is our special guest tonight. We got the fellas in the building. We got General Shaka saying Kofa, Street Law Soldiers, Brother Gerald Moore, Street Law Soldiers. We got my partner in crime, Kimwato Akil. I'm Knowledge Born 7. We also have Coco Mayat in the building as well. She will be on the audio. We thank y'all for tuning in. Go ahead, Mother Earth, introduce yourself.
Peace and blessings to everyone. I'm Mama Earth. I am a holistic practitioner. I'm Lady President of the UNA and the matriarch of the Black Cross Nurses. Here with the brothers to build, to restore, to heal, to balance. We all know that we need balance. We can't have balance without the brothers and the sisters together. We balance each other out. And I thank you all for inviting me one more time to be on this amazing podcast with the brothers. Ashe.
Ashe.
Shay back.
Sister Coco Mayat, introduce yourself.
Did she? I think she lost connection. I seen her came off. Um, she's back.
She back.
Peace. I got disconnected. My apologies.
Go ahead, sister, introduce yourself.
Okay, well, I was up ready. Peace and blessings. My name is CoCo Ma'at. I am a healing artist hailing out of Baltimore, Maryland, with roots in New York, New York. Definitely Brooklyn in the house is where my Pan-African journey and holistic journey began. I'm a Howard University graduate. Dr. Carr was one of my first master teachers, and then moving to New York, I just really was around a lot of beautiful Black liberators and great master teachers like Philip Valentine and many, even Mama Kua was someone that's dear to me. And just knowing that there is a village out there has been a blessing and a way for me to uplift myself. So I'm in Baltimore creating a new village and meeting my beautiful soul sister, Mama Earth, through a divine way has led us to join arms in the UNIA. So I'm also a UNIA member, a Black Cross nurse that provides holistic healing through Pan African Pulse, which is dance fitness of the African diaspora. I'm also a Kemetic yoga teacher with certifications in chair and children's and family yoga. So I love to bring forth the healing in all different modalities. And I was just certified to become a sound healer. So I'm dabbling into all different ranges of the healing art modalities. And that's really what I'm about in order to really liberate our people. So as Mama Earth said, I'm so blessed to be here with all this powerful Black manhood. So thank y'all for also inviting me to be a part of the dialect tonight.
Yes.
I want
She
you
went
guys.
more deep.
Go ahead.
I said she went more deeper. We are here to be servants of the Most High and servants to our community. So it's absolutely a blessing to be a part of this podcast because we have a mission, and that mission is to unite on all forces.
I got a question. Can
Ashe.
can one of you young ladies expound on the importance of feminine energy?
Well, I can start, Mama Earth. One thing about the femininity, someone being a feminine goddess and queen, mother of the earth, I definitely understand the flow of it. I think it's really important to know that there is um, different metaphysical aspects to everything in life. We're all connected, and even the femininity that flows into the masculinity with the masculinity, finding that ma'at, finding that balance is something that I really feel is coming back in this day and age where we're finding a lot more appreciation and awareness of the power of femininity and respecting femininity, because a lot of femininity has been, broken down in so many different ways. So I would just really want to just focus on enveloping that flow that comes from being able to attract and being able to move and bend and being able to balance um, masculinity. But, femininity holds so much power in that flow, in that water, and the fact that it is a part of our makeup, of all of us, is something that's super important. I think we're all coming into that liberation as a people to know that we're not just one-sided, we're not just one-faceted. There's all different layers to us, including femininity. So being able to honor and utilize it and realize its force when leaning into it, I think is such a powerful aspect um, of its power. So I'm so grateful for the femininity and motherhood as a mother, and as someone that loves my sisters, and appreciates the balance of masculinity as well. So
All right, for the people that's listening, that was Coco Mayat. She was speaking on the feminine energy. You know, it's an honor, to bring forth, the feminine energy here on the show. Because a lot of times yes, they see a lot of males on the show, they think that it's one sided, but it's not. And and us as brothers and leaders, we try to make sure we have that balance. All of
Mhm.
us, have wives, significant others, and we try to make sure that we keep the balance because it's very, very important, and it levels out the leader. Every great leader had a great counter person with them. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
And a counterpart, and what that is it's a leveling field, because we may think one way, but you best believe the mother, the wife, your significant other, they're thinking sometimes a different way. And as a leader, we have to take our perspectives in and then make that right decision as a leader. Sometimes we might not make the right decision, but even though we might not make the right decision, your significant other, your wife, your queen, whatever you want to call it, they always have your back. But it's also nourishing as well too, because we need to balance. A lot of men or leaders, we get hit with a lot of negative energy, and we get hit with the world itself. So it's always good to have that balance.
I truly believe behind every great man, there's a woman, that divine energy, that feminine energy behind them, because that divine feminine energy knows when to comfort, when to console, when to, those houses. You ever remember, you go to grandma's house, and grandma's house is that energy is inside of there, is welcoming and is loving. There's also that feminine energy, that is that warrior sister, that warrior energy, when it's time to take care of the family and take care of the household. So behind every strong family, there has to be that powerful feminine energy right there, to be that loving heart, to teach the children how to love each other, or to teach each other how to love. So I believe that it is necessary for that divine feminine energy to be present, because we're healers naturally. We're nurturers naturally. Naturally, we can soothe the quiet the storm in certain situations. So I was looking at I was reading a book on, and Coco mentioned the sacred woman is what I use as a reference, and by Akua, Queen Akua. And when she mentioned that, I just waved the book in here. It's like a reference book on how to tap into your divine femininity, and how to walk in your beauty, and walk in your queendom. And I truly, like I was saying, behind every man, strong man, there is a woman right behind him. You know, We have many single parents homes, and most of them were women. And those women had to be the nurturer. They had to be the warrior. They had to take care of the family. So I think that those that capabilities of that female or that feminine energy in the homes is necessary. I hope I'm not talking gibberish because
Nah.
No,
sometimes
no,
you get
keep
back.
going. No.
So you feel what I'm saying? So and when we were at the event in North Carolina, the mama, Michaela, she whispered in my ear that and she just her messages dropped down on my phone as I'm speaking about her. She whispered in my ear that the divine feminine energy is arising, and I told her, I said, I feel that too. So you're seeing now women are leading, and I believe if the females, the women, since the men are being lack in their responsibility in the community, we as that female energy or that feminine energy, as we go out in the community and they see us, the brothers see us out there at being activists. They see us out there on the street corners with bullhorns. They see us out there speaking to the community, that they will follow through. That's why when she said that the divine feminine energy was rising, I started to see is women standing in front of vast of people, and they're doing the work. And as the women doing the work, the brothers going to say that the sisters are out there doing it. The sisters are out there. So while we sitting here, let's go out there to help the sisters. And I always reference to all of us came from a womb. All of us came from a mother. All of us was birthed from however we were born, whether C-section or vaginal. We came from our mother. And so that feminine energy brings life. It brings forth the seed of life. So that's what I see going out into the community, going out here into activism, as planting those seeds and birthing them.
All right, Mother Earth, Sister Rhonda Payne in the chat, she has a question. She said, how can we as a people get our younger sisters on this level?
Being examples, walking and then going out into the community and being examples to them. I don't think that we can be a good example if we're going out there half dressed or with all of this mirage of makeup or whatever, just to accentuate our features, when we can go out there naturally and let them know you can be beautiful without doing all of that. So we can go out there and start being examples. That's the only word I can feel I'm coming up with, is being examples to the youth. Going out there, not being afraid to approach them, not being afraid to go and pull a sister to a side and give them, pure information, on how to become better or how to live their life on a higher existence. So being an example to the sisters, the young sisters that's out here. I believe if I just was living any old, my lifestyle was different. I don't think that all the sisters that's coming to me now, I don't think that they would even come. I think they are hungry after seeing something different or being around someone different, not doing the things that what they call, the church says, the world, being in the world and not being of the world. I'm in there, I'm out there, but those things I don't do. If I go out, I don't go to the club. I go to socialize, but I don't go out to the club, to the rap clubs, or hanging out in the street, late at night, just out there. If we're out there, we're either coming from somewhere where we're meditating or just communing together as sisters. So I believe the sisters that are in now, can reach out to those in the community and let the youth know this is how it is. And I'm going to show you how the difference between me and how they're living out there. So we just have to be examples, just be examples for them to see.
And I would just add that we could really show the example of love too. I think really having love as an underlying force and foundation of how we approach each other, how we speak to each other, how we listen to each other, how we look at each other, really being my sister's keeper. And to the little sisters, the big sisters, the twin sisters, like really just being able to show a level of, what that sisterhood, what it really means to us, and that really being a foundation of love. And acceptance, to a certain degree, holding ourselves up to a standard, as Mama Earth mentioned, and having a level of morality and values, and not shunning down or looking down on anyone else, but really lifting them up with love into what we can achieve and what we can be, and the virtuosity that does come when we reach a certain level of ascension.
Okay, people, that was the sister Coco Mayat.
Yeah, keep going.
Yeah. And both of us are in the holistic healing modalities, whether, CoCo, she does pretty much the same. I'm a doula, and I'll let her just, describe the things that she do so that we can service the community, especially the youth community. We're just approaching the women in the community as a whole. I focus on the inner pain. I have a gosh, I don't. It's in my mind. It's not a lesson. It's actually just a guide, a map to how to heal your inner. It's called Healing the Inner You. And I had designed it, well, I didn't design it. I'm going to pull that one off. When it was divinely given to me, I wanted to take what I went through in my life and change and turn it into a healing modality to break the barriers with other people, beginning with women. It was actually for women at first. And now it's for men also. And so the healing the inner you makes it's like a proverbial mirror turning around looking at yourself and knowing what things that we can do to change, really being honest of who we are as a person and what things that we can change to make us better, to elevate us to a higher consciousness. So we're birthing. That's why healing the feminine energy is very important. We all carry in a spiritual sense, we carrying babies, and those babies that we're birthing is healing, self identifying with pain or what life experience that we have encountered, that we have a tendency to either suppress or to hold, so birthing that healing process of looking inward, healing the inner you. So that's we're birthing how to channel the energies to balance yourselves. We're birthing that. We're birthing relationships with sisters, a relationship with each other where it's no backbiting or how they say the sisters have a way of the jealousy or not able to communicate with each other. We're birthing communication, the proper way to communicate with each other. Being able to have a dialogue with one another without it being some type of discord or jealousy or any, how this, how what's going on with the sisters nowadays, so what we're trying to birth is a way to communicate with one another effectively, healing each other effectively, allowing each other to be heard, because sometimes we don't hear each other. So we're birthing all of those modalities to reach out into the community. So that's why I'm looking at, I look at healing as a big mother, that birthing mother that's carrying all the babies. So and those babies that we're birthing is the healing process that we can do in the community. I told you, I hope I am not rambling.
No, you okay, Mother
No,
Earth?
you good, you good.
Malik Muhammad had a question. He says, "What's up, brother Malik? Most of the young ladies that I've come across in my works are overly influenced by social media ideas. How can sisters like you address that?"
I'll let you go, Courtney.
Well, I definitely feel like it starts with everything in moderation and us understanding that we are being attacked on multiple levels. And this is the age of Aquarius, so this is the information age. This is where you really have to be mindful about information that you are taking in, how you're taking in information, and what you're doing with processing that information, and how it regurgitates into your life or is applied in your life. And knowing that social media is an addiction nowadays, like knowing that there's a true addiction that comes from that, and there is just menacing energies around it. Just knowing how you have to be mindful of it as a tool, because on the flip side, you can also tailor your social media to provide you with a level of awareness of different ideals and upliftment and insight, that you wouldn't necessarily get on regular news or in a regular conversation. Sometimes you do go down rabbit holes and you are finding a level of liberation or a level of, higher vibrational conversations and information being shared. So I think there's a flip side, but I think it all comes down to the ma'at, the balance, and everything being in moderation and really trying to recognize first the issue. I think many of us that aren't awakened are walking with a level of unconsciousness where we don't see our shadows or our blind spots. And when you don't see the problem, there is, no level of attention to how to resolve it. So I think there's just a higher part of us as human beings and wanting to reflect and better ourselves and have a higher awareness of ourselves to take into account what we're feeding ourselves and what's being regurgitated in our lives down to our children. So, we all have, an addiction that I think, we all have to deal with in some kind of way. Not all of us have an addiction, but there's still there's an easier, like it's an easier accessibility to a social media addiction, that's not necessarily as I would say deemed harmful as say, a substance addiction, but there's still a sense of substance, and recognizing those factors and how we can really address that as a people. I think a lot of this comes down to a village mindset. One person may say something, but if we're all saying the same thing and we are all building with each other, then that message makes it much more clear and louder, and effective for change. So.
Okay. I got a question for you young ladies. Intuition and creativity. How and why that is important? Um, she said something too, but I'm gonna get back to that. But when she was speaking, I thought about intuition and creativity. How important is that as far as in a sisterhood?
Um, I'm trying to the voice that is coming through. I'm trying to bring it through because my intuition develops my creativity.
Okay.
When I have what I call downloads, spiritual downloads, it manifested by me being active in what I'm intuitively getting in. So it
Okay.
allows me to create and formulate ideas to not just elevate me, but also elevate the community and elevate those who I am in company with. And I'll say, for instance, sometimes that intuition will come through. I call them downloads. So I'll get a download and I'll start writing them down, and then I will share them. So the other night, I got a download for us to start formulating what we call the mind, body, and soul. That was given to me. That's intuition. And that mind, body, and soul initiative, we took it into a senior center, and it was absolutely amazing. So, with our intuition, we create those advantages for ourselves and others. So, we took the mind, body, and soul into a senior center. We had about 10 seniors, and they were able to do chair yoga. They were able to hear about the UNIA. They were able to know what eating healthy, eating fruits and vegetables, and how to juice. Through that intuition, that was manifested. So through my intuition, and I can speak individually, through my intuition, therefore, there is created opportunities to be effective in the community.
Well, that's so funny about me, Kendra, because my creativity is what sparks my intuition when I'm flowing and I'm just in a zone. It's like the knowing, the higher self in me comes forward and comes to truth and brings forth, like, poetry and writing, as you said. Like usually when I'm just rolling, it's like that highest voice, that highest soul really comes to speak often when the creative juices are higher and floating and flourishing. So it's interesting that you said that because it's like they kind of play hand to hand. The creativity that you have is really an intuitive what is it, muscle. You know what I'm saying? Because when you are creating things, you're just moving with how spirit is moving. And many times, in art I learned, you don't want to erase. You don't want to erase anything. You want to just keep on going and keep on flowing. And I think that's something that I love with words and wordsmithing and writing. It's just like you just keep on rolling and keep on going and the messages just start to come and flow out of you before you know it. You're just like, what? I said that. Let me record that. Let me pull that back. And
Yeah.
so even with the sisterhood, it's like when we are creative, like us dancing and singing and like that is a part of how we connect with each other. Like I just know I don't know how brothers, how y'all do it, but like when we're together, like we can literally just have like a whole concert. Like that really is something in our sisterhood. Like I know, like
Yeah.
I don't do this with all my, with all my fellas. Like there's more of a, I like we'll freestyle and stuff like that and listen to music. But I'm talking about like full blast, like into the production where you're like the show. I think that level of creativity that comes out with us as women and poetry and writers and dancers and how we just, how we say things to each other, how we even respond to each other is creative. And that's the intuition flowing too, like the level of the way that we banter. I'm talking about Black women too. The way we banter as Black women, there is this certain power of like just flow. Like no one has our vernacular, no one has our style, no one has our energy. And I think that is that intuition that is just flowing in
Yeah.
us, naturally. And it just allows us to lead authentically into like authentic and high vibrational relationship where the sisterhood really is capitalized because it's our power. You know, when two or more come together and we flowing together, when two or more are
Yes,
gathered, you know, it's just
yes.
like you feed off each other. That cipher. There's something about it when it's magnified. So I think it's really intrinsical to a part of the power and a part of our language. I think we're really creative people as a whole. We've had to be, and so that power of being like our creator is something that is intrinsically, intuitively our birthright, and we do it like it is, like we're supposed to.
Yeah, yeah, I say.
All right, what we all both were talking. I got out of that um um harmonic duality. So embracing, you guys being creative, got the energy, everything, and bringing the balance, and you have, and you both you guys having your own perspective on how you deal with the sisterhood as well as your presentation on how you guys present yourself to the public as well. You know what I'm saying? Brother Shaka, he always talk strong about certain sisters. Mama Earth, you one of them as well, and Sister CoCo Mayat. He talked powerful about sisters that have that powerful magnificence. You know what I'm saying, with them, especially when we go out or we at different events or something like that. One thing I do like, he does. He say if he can't bring the whole team, he ain't coming at all. So everybody can get a different perspective of how we build together. Like how I'm different, Ken different, Shaka different, Gerald different, but at the same time we come together with camaraderie, and we do have one goal at mind, and that's our people, and you know what I'm saying, liberation of our people, and pushing information to our people, as well as all the other stuff that we do as well. So that's what come to my mind. Duality, homatic duality.
Hey, Sean Johnson got a question, so
Right.
be glad. Sean Johnson. So, how do we fight against the machine that has influence on the youth's mind's body, and soul? Good question.
Can you repeat that again, brother?
You said, read it for me, not.
He says, Sean Johnson says, so how do we fight against a machine that has influence on the youth, mind, body, and soul?
Change the trajectory of the way that they think. Our words are vibrational. Our voices are vibrational. We can actually speak into someone's presence and change the way that they think. And that's why that divine feminine energy is a must, because we have in our voices, the vibrations of our voices change can change the way they think. We have to be consistent though. We can't just go and speak to youth or our brothers or our sisters just that one time and think that'll make a difference. Sometimes it does. It depends on the seed that the ground that the seed is dropped on. Sometimes that ground that seed is dropped on need to be dug up and it need to be plowed through. But there is some ground that is soft, and that once that seed is planted, it grows. So we have to change the trajectory of the way that our people think.
Actually, and
Uh,
I kind of know the answer to this is by me been out here being an activist over the years. Do you ever get frustrated at times? Both of y'all sisters.
I
Frustrated.
do. I do.
We
I do. I do.
absolutely, absolutely.
All right, we
We
we, we
both do, and we lean on each other. That's the purpose of sisterhood too. Coco, if she's going through, we innately feel each other sometimes. We could be I could have her on my mind and she will call me. Or we'll be going through, a sister that's in our circle could be going through something, and we will instantly call them and they were saying, I was just thinking of you. Of course we go through things, but that's the importance of community. When you are going through, you develop that relationship with one another, that you can actually feel when something is not right. So when we're together, when all of us together, and the most I'll never forget how amazing it was to be in that same house with all of us. It was like a family reunion. It was the most beautiful time. It was more connected to me than my own blood family. We had an amazing time. We were able to sit and eat and talk with one another. Of course, and so that's why community is important when you're going through, or when you feel like the life is turned upside down, when you feel as though that you can't pay these bills and you just don't understand how you're going to make ends meet, when you feel like your past is bubbling up and resurfacing and you feel what they call depression. We need to call out to one another, and of course we go through things, but when you develop that connection with the divine creator, with the most high, and your most powerful, strongest ancestors, when you build that relationship with them, you overcome some of those things that you think that you couldn't get through. Most of all, it's important to have community.
What do you want to see our people as a whole?
Huh?
I was talking to either one of the sisters.
But
What do you want to see our people as a whole? Because this is what I believe. I believe it's always going to be like this unless we learn to put away our differences and unite. That's the only thing that's keeping us from doing what we have to do. We don't have no unity. Damn near we don't even like each other.
Well, one, we have to realize that everybody don't belong in our circle, because everybody is not going to comply. Not everybody is going to get along. Not everybody is going to respect one another. It's always going to be someone. And those are, I call it the weeding out. When you have someone who is not, and they always got something to say, or they not trying to be build, we don't need them. Those are the ones that we don't need. We need the ones that are willing to come together, that are willing to learn with one another, to teach one another willingly. The ones that are not willing to come, it ain't necessary to go out there and be yanking on somebody and saying and beckoning them to come. If you ain't coming, that means it's not in your heart. And if it's not in your heart, bye. Go about your business.
Right. Can I add on to something?
Yes, sir.
Um, it is it's amazing, refreshing, but also inspiring to watch the ancestors and the energy of the ancestors channeling themselves through these sisters, and they're using their own form of personal expression, to share to people. Sisters, how to conduct themselves, what unity consists of, what womanhood as well as warriorhood combined consists of. And, you know, and agree, and again, I agree with Mama Earth, and I agree with Ken about the fact everybody's not going to be on the same page. It's frustrating. And frustration is part of the journey. There's no, you get no prize without pain. That's just the law. That's just nature, and it is frustrating, and then the weeding out and the sorting out, because we've over the years we've had so many people just wasn't in our best interest, with different and hidden agendas and other types of motives that was contrary to a divine mission, because it's just not about us. You know, we have to understand that we're here for a period of time to set a precedence and lay a foundation down for those who are coming behind us. You know, and time is running out. Time, you know, time's not waiting for anybody. And so it's important that we continue to keep the wheels turning. And it's I always look at it as a blessing and not a misfortune that um you come up in a biological setting with siblings, and then at some point you bear off and then you go meet your real family. And we have to understand that and not allow the colonized mind and this Eurocentric thinking to make us be subjective to all sorts of abuse based on the fact that you may be biologically connected to an individual or individuals, you know, that are not in your best interest. You know, and it's just you know, a powerful bill to watch, to actually witness and watch sisters take their ancestral energy and the way they express it in their own form and their vibratory frequencies to be an example. You know, didn't hear nobody. I heard no ego. I heard no image. I heard none of that. I didn't feel it. So I know it doesn't exist between these two particular sisters. So the work that has to be done, like Mom Earth was saying.
Shaka went out.
You went out, Shaka. You freezing.
He froze up. Yeah.
Who are suffering. I froze up.
Yeah, you froze up
for a couple of minutes.
Okay. I'm frozen. Is it thawed out?
Yeah.
So, you made me lose my train of thought, but you know, you can't just go out here one time and expect these people to make this turn around and all these changes. It doesn't work like that because it didn't work for us like that. So can we expect to work for the people who are still out there, who are still more deeply entrenched in this muck and mire? So when we were all together, we've been together in three different settings, you know, and each time it gets more powerful. It generates a momentum. More people see it. The world knows about it. People feel it. But a lot of people know that, you know, this is a no-nonsense circle. This is a no-nonsense circle, and you have to come correct. And if you come incorrect and want to be corrected, there are those in the circle, if you're open and receptive, that can bring that heal and help you heal so you can become part of the circle. Once again, we're not here just for us. We're not here for us. We're here for our great grace. We have gone back our essence. Hopefully we may come back to you know, some of our great and the legacy that we leave. You know, because it's important to nurture the woman to continue to nurture, to continue to bring guidance and comfort, especially with the brothers. You know, our brothers have been so battle scarred and war torn that, you know, a lot of them forgot how to be nurtured, how to be treated as such. You know, how to be soothed. Like they used to always say, music soothes average beast. You know, and sometimes we can get out in this wilderness and get so engulfed and being so much of what you call defense mode and guerrilla mode, you know, that when that comfort comes, we don't really know how to accept it. We don't know how to embrace it. And then that leads to you not appreciating it and understanding it and taking it for granted. So it's important that we do have these bills. And like I was telling y'all, we need to have that balance. I always say, if it's a heaven and I leave here, I don't want to go to anybody's heaven where it's all, you know, somebody has to adjust my paperwork and send me where some sisters at. Because that's not gonna work for me. That's not gonna work for me at all. So I appreciate y'all. I really do. I really do. Y'all bring a lot of wisdom. Y'all bring a lot of unity. Showing other sisters to damage egos that they don't have to possess this bravado. That is brothers out here that can they can handle that part, you know, and to continue to these sisters how to really embrace and then appreciate, tap into that divine faith, because that's where it's supposed to be at.
Hey, Rhonda Payne made a statement.
What Rhonda Payne say?
She said, it's hard when you have been embedded with Jesus.
It's hard when it's what?
You've been embedded with Jesus.
Well, you know what? I look at it this way. That was the foundation of me in the first place. I didn't grow up in a spiritual house. I grew up in first Christianity, and that was the foundation for me because I had a babysitter who made me sit down in church, so I felt the vibration from the preachers on the pulpit. I seen the mothers coming in there with their white hats on. I seen the mothers come in there putting the cloth across your legs so that your legs don't show. So that's the foundation that I grew up under. And then I grew up in, my mom converted it to becoming a Hebrew Israelite. So that taught me commandments. That taught me guidelines on feast days and moon phases, the new moon, the full moon, and those things. So those are the foundations. So I tell people that the church literally was the foundation of my spirituality.
I think it was the foundation.
Everybody did.
I think it was the foundation for all of us.
Right.
For real.
It's the ones who go there inside of the sanctuary and they do one thing, like your Jamal Bryant's and your all of those ones that be in that pulpit, and they're preaching a doctrine but living something different outside those walls. That's what I have a problem with. But if you're there and your heart is there, if that's your foundation, because I know once you grow into a higher consciousness, you start to grow into a deeper understanding what spirituality is.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah.
All
Very
right.
well.
Go ahead, mother.
I think
My vision for my sister and I, because Coco is my sister, you know, we're birthed from the same spiritual womb. So coming together, my vision is that the love that we have will bud and spread and will drop off like seeds into the community, into our brothers, into our sisters, and that love grows into a community. If it don't grow, that means they ain't supposed to be there. If it dies off, that's what happens in a flower bed. When the weeds are not the weeds, but when the seeds are starting to grow, and sometimes those seeds don't thrive, they die out. That's how a garden is. That's how I look at the spiritual place. Those seeds that we're planting through our love for one another and that sisterhood that we have for one another, it grows within us, and we're branching out like the branches of a tree and growing leaves. And that's the sisters, that's the brothers that we're growing. And just like that tree grows and those branches grow, it will end up growing other seeds. So that's the vision. That's the vision that I have for us, to grow as vibrant spiritual seeds, planting ourselves in North Carolina, planting ourselves in Atlanta, planting ourselves in Maryland, planting ourselves in different parts of the world, that we can grow that spiritual seed of consciousness, love, unity,
And I think
building.
Ashe, and I think that is the example that you were talking about, sis, because that's a part of living in your truth, is that it's not something that's forced when it just is. So
It
with that
is.
being our vibration, it's what we naturally attract in our lives, and it's naturally already formatting and formulating. We're already building beautiful sisterhoods out here in Baltimore and getting the opportunity to travel. Like she mentioned, like I came down to Atlanta and that was an amazing experience at a beautiful museum that, you know, I was able to bring my child with me for him to be able to see those seeds planted in him at an early young age, to hear and to know about consciousness in our community and uplifting our people. And to get back to what Ken asked about the healing, it's going to tie into what you said, Mama Earth, because I feel like it's all in one with, you know, Ubuntu, you know, I am because we are. So there's this
Yeah.
level of the healing that I want for myself, for my sister, for my family, is necessary for my community, is necessary for
That's
my
right.
nation. And I think liberation is the foundation of our people, and healing is the ascension of our people. Because really, you know, freedom comes with the love that we are, you know, freed from with our own traumas and our own hurts and pains that we're carrying around too. So being able to build on that healing journey individually and collectively, and then even like collectively with our unified sisterhood, with our brotherhood, you know, really making space and sacred space for each of those dynamic facets of life for each other, for ourselves, is medicine. And I think if we are a village nation, village mentality people anyway, so that's what we do naturally. So we just have to be us, do us, you know, in the best way we know how. And I think that is what is already attracting and manifesting this beautiful journey that I know me and my sister are on. And it's like, and this is also not the first journey, first go around. Like this is something that we know has been in eons, you know, and in our destiny. So when you have that soul connection, like Tashaka was saying, outside of your bloodline, there is almost a deeper fascination with that connection because it feels on a solar level.
Yes,
And many
yes,
times the bloodline feels like that force level, you know, many times with your soul family, it flows so easily. With even getting through ebbs and flows, like challenges come with life, of course, but there still is this natural vibrational understanding and understanding and alignment that you can work with and speak to the same language as your soul family, which I feel is a lot different than your biological family, where sometimes we are coming into this earth on different vibrations. And, you know, someone's on 93.7 while another person's on 107, you know. So it's like they're all on different radio stations, and we don't necessarily have the same frequency at all times. So when you do find the family that has matched your frequency, there is something so uplifting about that. And, you know, Shashaka, you mentioning that really inspired me as a confirmation. Because sometimes I do fight that, you know, like family first and family over everything, but, you know, not to the detriment of thyself. And I think that's a part of the beauty of attracting a soul family, because you really do get to match with people on a whole different level than you even
so
thought
different.
imaginable with your biological family. So thank you.
Right, all right. That was CoCo Mayat, Mama Earth. Any last remarks, fellas, before we end the live?
And just appreciate all of them. Appreciate
Right.
them.
I do want to say when we was together in the house, the Airbnb, we was like one big old family, and we was chilling.
It did. I
You
can't
know,
wait for that to happen again.
and
I can't wait.
you know, my wife enjoyed herself as well. So you know, it was love.
Hey,
One love.
tell us about the event, February 16th, I believe. Tell us a little bit about that.
The UNIA gala is the 15th of February from 6 p.m. to 10 p.m., 6:30 to 10 p.m. I don't have a flyer. Do you have a flyer so you can give the address to Shaka? Because I'm on my phone and I
can
don't.
post it, but it's on Bel Air Road,
I got
Baltimore.
you
Yeah.
with the flyer. I could tell you the address.
Okay.
Okay.
It is. I just sent it out today.
While she's finding the address, you got it?
No, not yet. 1 second.
Okay. While she's finding the address, this is the second annual gala of the UNIA, and it's representing Black love. And that's exactly the message that we want to spread out there for us to love one another, support one another, be that force for one another. We have General Chisaka Sankofa. He's going to be our keynote speaker. We can't wait for that. And we have various we have vendors in Kawato. He's going to vend for us. And the brother that does the staff, the artwork, the wood.
Brother Tex.
Right here.
Brother Tech.
Brother Tech.
Yes, I. Yes, I. So he's coming. Yes, yes. Mine's in the living room next to my ancestral staff by my altar. It stays there. Everybody that sees it, that comes in, they are looking at it like, where did you get that? So I told them he'll be right here in Baltimore selling his beautiful artwork at the gala.
Yeah, we'll be up there.
I'm trying to make it myself. I'm trying to move some things around so I'm able to make it.
Brother
But
Ryan's
yeah,
gonna be there. Brother Ryan's gonna be up there. He trying. I mean, he gonna be there.
That's
can't say that,
wonderful.
man. Stop that, man. You have to like Shaka, man.
Well, if you are
Like
gonna
Shaka.
be here, the address I do have the address for you all. If you do want to make it, please write down 7630. That's 7630 Bel Air Road, and Bel Air is spelled Belair Road in Baltimore, Maryland, and the zip is 21236. So tickets are $60 per person. It's red, black, and green. It's, dress your best. It's a gala, so we're gonna be fly and fabulous. We got vendors, we got authors, and as Mama Earth mentioned, the artists coming up, traveling vendors. We have some vendors that have African clothing and accessories, and some beautiful authors. So there's gonna be a lot of love. A lot of Okoma in the atmosphere.
A lot of
So we definitely
Okoma.
look forward to seeing you all again.
And
Right,
we
family.
definitely can't wait to have that family time with y'all again. That's amazing. That energy was amazing.
Hey, CoCo, how you like that hoodie? How you like that hoodie, sister?
The what?
The hoodie. That's so.
Oh, the soap?
The hoodie.
Oh, the hoodie. Oh, of course. You know what I was gonna tell y'all? I was literally gonna tell you I wore it the other day. Mama Earth, remember we went to a UNI event and we both showed up in red, and I was wearing the hoodie with my red tights and my red shoes, and everything was all red. It was rocking that red. So I definitely it's full circle seeing y'all on the Zoom tonight, because I'm like, yo, I was just representing. So
hey, do me a favor. Did you take a picture? Send it to Mama Earth so she can send it to me.
I got you. I'm gonna see what we got. Peace for sure.
All right, to shock, you going live tomorrow?
Yes, sir.
Hey, so check this out. We ending the show. But we in the show. Thanks for everybody.
Like Gerald wanted to say something.
Go ahead, brother Gerald.
Yeah. What I wanted to say was Mama Earth and Courtney, I listened to you both tonight. Was kind of quiet because I just wanted to hear how you all affiliated everything. But the one thing that I do want to say, I'm glad you all brought out a main attribute, love. If you don't have love, everything is going to diminish. And that's one subject that I constantly push amongst us is that we got to have love. Even amongst that, y'all showed how y'all have that camaraderie amongst the sisters. It got to be amongst the brothers, and all of us have to come together.
Yes,
Ashe.
Ashe.
Ashe, Gerald.
Knowledge, right? Our sister Ronnie said her son loves the T-shirt.
Yeah, I told her thanks.
So yeah, her son asked for a hoodie so you can connect with the
Okay, dear Rhonda, just give me a call, Sister Rhonda.
Yeah.
Peace and love, Sister Rhonda. That's a new
Hello,
found
Sister
sister too.
Rhonda.
She was in the family with us, the family home.
Yes.
So
She
hopefully
can't
she
wait,
come up
and Mama
too.
Shabazz, she can't wait. She's excited. I'm excited. I'm just so excited of having our family together again. And those that's out there, this is what Black love looks like. The brothers, the sisters coming together. Maybe 10 years ago, we were strangers. We didn't know each other, but the Most High knew that He was bringing that the family was coming together in the unity. And this is exactly what it looks like. Unity, love, peace, learning from one another, coming together and building.
Ashe.
Right. And so
Right, family.
we gonna end the show out. Check out Vocal Dialect. Thanks for everyone who joined in on the feed. Make sure you hit that like button real quick. Check us out, Vocal Dialect on Instagram as well. Vocal Dialect on Facebook. Vocal Dialect on TikTok. We putting up little clips and stuff. Check out our brother, our general. We love the brother. He putting in that work. The brother T-Shock Sankofa. Weeknights between 8:15 and 8:30 p.m. Go to follow him on Facebook. That's brother T-Shock Sankofa. He will be on tomorrow at 8:30, y'all. So go ahead and check him out. Look him up. Follow him. That's it.
All right, family. Vocal Dialect. We see y'all next time. Peace.
Peace. Thank you.
You all.